Hi friends, welcome in, welcome back to Revamp and Radiate with me, Sarah B, your beauty bestie. So today I have a different type of video. I kind of wanted to start officially my series on my mommy makeover. I went for the consultation. So for those of you who are new here, welcome. I went for my consultation a couple days ago. And when I got out of that consultation, I sat in my car, played with my new camera, and I did a little video vlog of my initial thoughts coming out of there. This is not something that me or my husband or my family are taking lightly. It's a big decision. I'm 44 years old. I have 2 children. My youngest is 5 years old. My daughter, she's 8, about to be 8. And after I had my daughter is when my stomach immediately started to have that like apron effect. And I've been thinking about it since then. So I've done a lot of research. I've talked to a lot of people who've had it, just people who know me, friends. And we've arrived here to this point. I have recently lost quite a bit of weight. And on another day, another video, I will tell my whole story on my weight loss journey. But today we're going to talk mommy makeover and the consultation appointment. So if that's something you want to watch and listen to, please join me as we get into that. So I just came out of my consultation with my doctor. When I went into this, I originally just wanted like a tummy tuck thinking. And then I'm like, I don't want to mess with anything else. And then, just after, talking about it, thinking about it, I was like, well, while we're here, why don't I look at doing my boobs too? So he said I'd be a perfect candidate for a lift. And he talked about, doing the lift at the same time. He's like, because you're doing the tummy tuck, it's going to be a breeze. And it's like, no problem. So he says it's going to feel like a breeze. You might as well do it all. And I said, I agree. So we're going to do that. So I was like nervous to even bring that up. I'm like, so while we're here, he's like, oh yeah, that's very common. He was very like comforting and soothing. I was so nervous. Like my palms were sweating the whole time. I was like, what is this? I'm not this kind of nerve-wracked person. And I was also really worried about recovery, and he seemed to think that it would be a lot less time than I think. He says, some people can be back to work at a desk job in 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I can handle that. He's like, it's really more about pain management. And he compared the pain part to like, double the C-section. So I had 2 C-sections and it would be like double that pain. And to be honest with you, and I think anyone else who's had children or had a C-section and children like me, that time in my life was just a whirlwind, and I remember very little of it. So I do remember, but I do remember like it not being so bad. Like the pain wasn't, like a few days of pain. I really, you're more focused on like, you have a kid and how to take care of that. Like this person is, and then when you have your second, you're like, I have to take care of baby and my other kid. So there was that whole part. But I do think this is right. Like the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. It all just seemed right. If the office was comforting. I was going to try to take some B-roll of like, of the building and stuff. Maybe I'll do it from the car. I'm a little self-conscious about pulling out my camera. I did take some cell phone footage of just me sitting in the waiting room. I'm like, maybe we'll use this. I don't know. Probably not. I thought that was silly. But yeah, so I feel good. I feel good about it. I think like a good month of time. He said 3 weeks, but I think a good month of time of like kind of free time, like no traveling, no nothing. I could eke out sooner than I thought. But I was thinking I was going to do this whole thing in January would be my ideal time frame for that. So we'll see. what the scheduler says. They said they'll call me within the week to like put it on the books. Oh, and also he said that insurance might cover a portion of my tummy tuck portion because I do have like skin on skin contact. Because I literally have like an apron. I know, like he showed me pictures of other tummy tucks. None of them look like mine. And I'm sure I'm not unique and the only person, but his examples were not as like extreme as like mine were, because it's significant what it's significant, my little tummy flap, and it messes with my confidence, and it's almost a little worse now that I've lost weight. So yeah, I do have questions for him. He did say several times like how to contact him directly, so it's through the iChart app and stuff, but he was very like open and welcoming to like if I have more questions. So there are a few questions that I did have that I just didn't think of, but I'm gonna so one question was, we talked about the recovery time, but then he kind of added that I'm gonna need like the scar, like the big scar up my chest to take off like the middle section, because I have like a little bulge there. So I'm okay with that. I'm like, a little scar is not going to kill me, especially if I have, you know, I don't wear bikinis, you know, even when I did have like a great body, I wasn't like a bikini wearer, you know, I'm like, I'm okay. I'm confident in my skin. I can handle a scar. I know how to take care of my skin, and I know skincare. And I'll do like everything to minimize the scar, obviously, but we talked about that. So I do have to just confirm that like recovery would be similar to what he said, with adding that like scar up my chest. And when we talk more details about what I'm doing, like, you know, I'll have like maybe I'll have my friend like help film me, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So what other questions is in my head right now that I'm talking about? So he's gonna talk me through the insurance part. So he says he's gonna the only thing is it has to be documented. And what really sucks is it is something that has physically bothered me and I've had issues with. I just have handled it on my own and just kind of thought that this was my reality of what I have to live with and deal with. So that's really frustrating with our healthcare system. Like, if you think you could do it on your own, you don't even bother trying to like go to a doctor, you know? So you know, maybe I wouldn't have had to suffer or deal with it if I had just went and saw my doctor. So that's a thing. He asked me about my mammogram. Mammograms are a requirement before you do this. And I told him I just went last week, so I was covered there. I'm just free-flowing some thoughts, so I don't know how this footage might just be helpful for me later to like when I go to talk to my husband and go back to the doctor and ask him the questions that I have. What other question? I just had another one. So we talked about that. I'm not sure. I just had another question that I felt really important. I don't know. Oh, I didn't ask him about my tattoos. So I have some tattoos that it'd be great if he could just cut them off, to be honest with you, but I don't know if he can. He says that the drains are easy to take care of and that there shouldn't be a problem. That was another major issue of mine that I was like nervous about. We opted for a lift because there's basically 3 choices. There's a reduction, an augmentation, or a lift. And, you know, the lift is basically your boobs have moved. Like, you know, you don't necessarily want them bigger or smaller. You just want them up, and that's what I want. So we talked about that. And he says, you know, I'm a good candidate for that. So we're going to do that. He's going to send me a special letter, I think, and then I'm going to go see my primary care doctor and talk to her about like my skin and get some documentation prior to the surgery. I guess there's a time frames and all kinds of things going on with that. So we're going to see if we could do it through the insurance. That would be ideal. That obviously would be ideal, especially since we pay so much for insurance, it would be great to get a little kickback on that, a little bit. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm excited for this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It's great talking to you, great having you, appreciate you, and we will see you in the next one.